Wait.
Hi, my name is XzavierN99027973. I am at my house right now. It is December 7th, Wednesday, and I am interviewing Jeff Anderson, who is a family friend and is a mechanical engineer, and he's at the door right now.
Hey, how you doing, Max?
Thank you for coming.
Sure.
Stay this way.
Walk this way.
Okay, interviewing. First question. What motivated you to become a mechanical engineer?
Well, I started as a mechanic, working on foreign cars, and then went to a trade school for diesel and heavy equipment. And then I worked in that field for a while, but that's really hard work, and you come home every night really filthy, so I decided to go back to school and get a degree in engineering.
Okay, cool. What would you have become if you weren't an engineer?
Oh, I probably would have been an electrician, if I had to do it over again, I'd probably be an electrician, but I still like any kind of machinery, whether it's a mechanical or electrical.
Okay. How long have you been an engineer?
Well, I graduated in 1979, so if this was 2019, that would be 40 years, is that right? No, 30 years?
30 years.
Math is hard, you know. I have to know math to be an engineer.
Okay. What obstacles did you overcome to be an engineer?
Well, I had a hard time with math when I was in junior college until I graduated, and then I found out how to actually use math. And then after I figured out how to do algebra and geometry and calculus, I started writing computer programs for personal digital assistants. And I wrote hundreds and hundreds of formulas and tried to sell them online.
That's cool. What education did you go through to be an engineer?
Well, I went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, the real one, not the fake one in Pomona, but the real one. And I got a degree in agricultural engineering, which is it's farm machinery. You know how to farm, and farming was a real big deal in California back in the 1980s. And my first job was in Hawaii on a sugar plantation, working on harvesting machinery, and the sugar business was not doing that well in the 80s, so when the plantation I was working at went out of business, I went back to school at the University of Hawaii for a master's in agricultural engineering.
Okay. What training did you go through to be an engineer?
Well, a lot of it was hands-on, like on the job, but Cal Poly had a really great program called internship, and the internship was a class, a college class, and you got credit for it. And what you would do was there were certain companies that needed engineers in training, and they would hire them. So I got a job in the summertime at a lettuce operation, big lettuce company, Bud Animal, California, up in Salinas, California. So that was part of my training, to do an internship one summer there, and we were building a new line of lettuce harvesting machines that are still operating in the valley, and Imperial Valley, and the San Joaquin Valley, and also in the King Valley coast.
Okay. What is the best part of being a mechanical engineer?
Well, if you can think of a way to do something, and if you can think of a machine in your head, or if somebody comes to you with a certain problem and they want to solve it, you can suggest ways that they might do it, and then you can make a proposal, and if they like your idea, then you can actually design it on paper or on a computer now, and then you can make drawings and watch it be built, and turn your thoughts into like a real item, a real article, something that you can see operating.
Oh, that's cool. Out of your whole career, what was the best project you did?
Oh, probably the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to bring the patent over tonight to show you the actual U.S. patent, but we got a patent on that ride system, and that was built in 1990 to 1995. It took 5 years to design and prototype and test and install in the park, and it opened in 1995. So when you go on the Indiana Jones ride, the best part of the ride is the hydraulics.
Okay. What was the worst project you did?
Oh, I've done some pretty bad projects. I actually worked at a place in downtown Los Angeles where after they take an animal and they cut it up and they get all of the products out of it, you know, like they get the meat and the bones, and after they're done with everything, they have the leftovers, like the hides and the hoofs and the brains and the guts and the blood. And there was a company that would take all of these discarded articles and they would make products out of them. They made fertilizer, they made bone meal, they made blood meal, they made tallow for soap and for makeup. And all of these things that you would throw away, they can actually make into products, you know, dog food. And I worked down there, and it smelled horrible, but boy, there was a lot of interesting projects to do to process all of the agricultural products. In this case, they were animal products.
That's cool. When you are doing a project, do you do the project in a group by yourself, or do you have a partner?
Well, a lot of times it takes a whole group of people to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Like there'll be somebody who is very good in designing structures and can do structural calculations. And then if you need to control the machine, you'll find somebody who's like a controls engineer, and they can specify what type of computer system and sensors that you need. And then you may need somebody to do the programming. So you need a computer programmer that knows motion control and knows how to make a ride. So when we did the Disney project, we had, I think we had maybe 30 people on that team doing all kinds of, theming and decorations and the audio track and the music and the lighting. So it was a big team.
Okay. All right, I got one more question. Has being an engineer been easygoing?
Yeah, it's not bad, The problem with it is it's project driven. So when you get a project, you're under a lot of pressure to make that project and finish it on time. So, but there's also a lot of very rewarding times in between where you get to, start something up and make it work, and there might be a problem. So you solve that problem, and then you run it again, and something else happens. But yeah, there's a lot of very, very fun times in putting together a project and making it work.
Cool. Thank you for letting me interview you.
Oh, sure, no problem. Happy to do it.
Cool.
Good luck with your career.
I will.